What's going on, YouTube? This is BoxingWave. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So I want to go over a couple of upcoming fights, give me my first thoughts on the fights. This fight has officially been announced, officially now, okay? Because I made a video, I don't know, maybe sometime last week, earlier this week, about the heavyweights, where I was just giving you brushing up some of the things that's going on in heavyweight, and I brought up this fight, and I was basically saying, listen, I hope this fight actually goes down. We was expecting it to happen. We was gonna get it earlier this year because of everything that happened with COVID, it got delayed. But we officially getting this fight. It's gonna be on DAZN, and I really like the fight. I really wanted to fight. I like both the fighters. I like Dereck Chisora. I always liked him. He's cool. He's been in the ring with a lot of people. Yes, he has a lot of losses, but he fought a lot of tough guys. Had a couple fights in there that I didn't think he took really serious. He got some losses and stuff like that, but he's fought a lot of tough fighters, and he has some wins. Notable wins, maybe not against A-level fighters, but maybe B, C plus type fighters, guys that used to be something at one point. Arthur Spilka, gave Wilder a tough fight. He's been in there with Carlos Takam, was in there with Joshua, and a whole list, Povetkin, a whole list of people. Mike Perez, he was in there with a lot of people. Who else? He got wins over. He has David Price. He recently knocked him out in his last fight. What's Spilka last? One of those two was the last one, but they were back to back. All right, he got notable wins against guys with names. It's a fun fighter to watch, even with the losses he had, like the Dillian White first fight, especially that fight was definitely a war if you're into that kind of fights and stuff. So Dereck Chisora, I don't even need to keep going in and throwing names. We know who he's been in there with. And as far as Usyk, what he did at cruiserweight, he really dominated the division. Not only was he undisputed, which is probably the best accolade you can actually have in any weight division, but he was the winner of the World Boxing Super Series tournament, which is my favorite thing that's going on in boxing, my personal favorite. I love the tournament. I always cover it, whatever division it's in. And, you really beat the best of the best of the best, because everybody that was good was in that tournament. All right. So, so this fight is going down. I think it's a good test for Usyk, who's only had one fight up at heavyweight. He moved up for Chaz Witherspoon, a guy that, a vet, but he had a couple decent fights, but not anybody really, really good. It was just a test, it was a tune-up. You go up in weight, and that was his first opponent. And most people want to see something before he gets in the ring with a Joshua or a Fury or whatever. So, when I think about this fight, Dereck Chisora, he's a bigger guy. He's a bigger puncher. He's the real, true heavyweight. He's been there. Has a lot of experience. I brought up some of the names just now who he beat, but he lost to a lot of guys. What I expect from Dereck is he's going to be the one coming forward. All right. He's a pressure puncher. All right. He's a puncher. He's a pressure fighter. He's going to be coming forward. I see him just throwing a lot of jabs, just trying to really set up that right hand. He's an orthodox fighter and just probing the jab. He's just going to be probing it and just winging big right hands to the body up top, just trying to land something big. What he wants Usyk to do is try to get Usyk, pressure him to the ropes. So where he likes to work, throws those big bomb loading up on combinations. That is what Dereck Chisora is going to be looking to do. This is how he knocks his opponents out, gets them, presses them back to the ropes, and then starts swinging for the fences. That's what he does. He's wide. It's not always pretty, but when he connects, he knocks people out. That's what he does. All right. He is a puncher. All right. And, Usyk, on the other hand, Usyk is so well-rounded. This is why many people believe he's a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter. It's because he is so versatile, all right? He can fight any way, any style. Great leg, feet, footwork, very light on his feet. Throws a lot of punches, and he mixes them up well. His punch selection is great. He knows when to be on the attack, when to be on the defense. And, he knows how to, hide his punches, his power, right? He has a sneaky power, but he doesn't load up on a lot of shots. He's a guy that wants to wear you down. He's not trying to knock you out with one punch. He wants to wear you out, outwork you, for a number of rounds first and then get you out of there. All right. And what I'm expecting from him is to keep moving, not go against the ropes. I mean, he could defend himself there, but you don't want to be there. We saw what happened recently with Arthur Spilka. He doesn't want to be there. All right. So he's going to be moving laterally for the most part. Again, he's very light on his feet. He steps in, throws his combination, does his work, and step out. All right. Goes to the body, goes up top. He mixes his punches really well. And he definitely has the hand speed advantage over Dereck Chisora. So what I'm expecting Usyk to do is just mix it up, really. Step in and out. He could fight on the outside. He could step in, throw his combinations on inside, but he's going to try to stay out of danger and stay off, keep his back off the ropes. All right, so I'll probably do a thorough breakdown leading. I'll definitely be talking more about this fight because I really like this fight, and I'll definitely cover the card whenever the data's of the fight. But I'm leaning towards Usyk, but I do think this is a proper test for him, and I think that this is a fight that he could get knocked out in if he gets caught. But I'm gonna lead with Usyk only because not only of his experience and his skill set, but speaking on his experience, he's fought bigger guys. He's fought big guys before he became pro. I mean, he was a great amateur. He fought guys like Joe Joyce. If you haven't seen that fight, everybody knows Joe Joyce is supposed to be fighting Daniel Dubois. He already fought Joe Joyce and beat him in the amateurs, okay? And Joe Joyce was bigger than him at that point, too. This wasn't that long ago. So I'm expecting Usyk to win. I know Chisora is a heavyweight, but he's a lot slower. And I think he's going to give him a tougher fight than Usyk had against Joyce. I think he's going to give him a tougher fight than Usyk had against, or Gassiev did against Usyk. I think he's definitely going to give him a tougher fight. But I don't think Chisora really brings, outside of him being big and having power, I don't really see something in there. And those are key things. Don't make it. I'm not trying to make it seem like those things are not major things. But I just see Usyk and his skill set. I think it's just going to be too much. We recently saw Dorticos lose to Briedis, where, Dorticos, who had a power, and I actually leaned toward Dorticos in this fight. I knew that Briedis had the skill set, and I see a lot of that in this fight. I see how how that fight went. I see a lot of that here. I think this is going to be a little bit more competitive than that fight, though. Because I think Chisora is just a little better than a Dorticos in setting up that big right hand. Okay, I think he's going to be throwing more punches to the body. I think he's going to be doing more work at his jab and throwing more punches overall because he's a better pressure fighter to me. But I also believe that Usyk is just his movement is just going to be too much. His movement, his jabs, his counters. He's going to be countering with that straight left. He's going to be putting in work. And I can actually see him stopping Chisora as well by overworking him in a later rounds. All right. So I really like the fight. I just wanted to speak on it real quick. And, I might do a thorough breakdown later. But if I don't, you pretty much get the gist of where I'm going with this fight. I think Usyk is going to win and prove that he really belongs in the division. But don't be shocked if Dereck Chisora is able to land something big and knock out Usyk, because that's what he does. All right, but I'm thinking more like 60-40 with Usyk winning this one. All right, I think Chisora, if he were to win, it would probably be my knockout. Definitely got a puncher's chance, but I'm rolling for Usyk for now. So that's it. That's the end of this video. Catch you on the next one. Peace.